Hi, everyone. Welcome to Doors to Success. My name is Malik, and I am your host. Today, we are featuring a special guest, a classmate of mine, Dipanpreet Kaur.
Hi everyone, my name is Dipanpreet Kaur. Feel free to call me Dipan. So, I am an international student and I am going at York University and I'm going into my third year of English and professional writing. And thank you, Malik, for having me here.
Oh, thanks for agreeing to be on the podcast. You know, we can list everything that you've done. Your leadership experience is amazing. Just as an international student from India, arriving to Canada in August of 2023, you've built a special name for yourself within your community involvement and leadership. I mean. In less than a year, you've earned multiple prestigious awards, including Work Study Student of the Year, the Outstanding LANPS Student Volunteer Award, and the International Leadership Scholarship. And you've also been recognized by Results Canada with the Social Media Butterfly Award for your advocacy in global health. Listing a bunch of accomplishments, but your leadership really speaks for itself, and you will definitely be providing a lot of valuable insight for newcomers and students, and whether people are still starting their life in Canada and how they can go about that. And so, thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
All right. So without further ado, let me just go right into the questions. So as you know, even for me, coming to Canada, the first few weeks were a bit um, emotional, lots of emotions. It's a bit difficult. For you, how did you feel about your first weeks in Canada? What emotions did you have? And just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so when I first came to Canada, I know exact date when I landed to Canada. It was August 7th, 2023. I landed Canada and I about like almost a month, I guess, I lived with my relatives. Till the time I was okay, like, yeah, I have family and everything, I'm with family, so it was nothing much, like. But when I shifted to another, like, a basement, I started to live on my own, right? And now a sudden realization hits that no one's around you, like from your family. I started to cry. And that sudden realization hit so hard that I started to cry. And I was like, for the first few days, I tried to hide it whenever I was on call with my parents. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fine, I'm good, everything's great. But I don't know, one day it was getting so overwhelmed. Like, a lot of changes happened instantly. It was so
Yeah.
overwhelming. I just one day started to cry in front of my parents on call, and
Mhm.
they were like, "Don't cry, we're here," and all that stuff. So I guess, even it was a month, it was been a month that I was in Canada, but and everything was great. But when I moved out of their house, like my relative's house, then it was a bit more overwhelming. So I
Yeah.
would say that 1 week after moving out was really hard.
Mhm.
Transition and really process what's going on,
Yeah.
because I was just 17 years old.
Oh,
When I
yeah.
went to Canada, I was just 17. I did my 12th grade. I
Mhm.
graduated from my senior high school. I moved to a new country, and then it was like everything changed like
Yeah.
in a click. So
Yeah.
it was overwhelming, but then gradually you just get adapt to everything. And
Mhm.
then, and since then, I have never cried. Like, I want to go back India or something like that. But like, yeah, that 1 week was really overwhelming.
No, I can't imagine especially with just coming here at just 17 and like lots of emotions, lots of really brave to be honest, and I mean even with the stigma around international students these days, like hearing your experiences and my other friends as well, like just having to leave so much behind and just come here just to fulfill an education or achieve your goals. And your family's goals, and it's a real struggle. And like hearing you talk about it, I know a lot of people can relate, who are listening. Yeah, but it is and how did you kind of navigate that stigma, like telling your stories to people? What reactions did, I guess, do people have when they hear your stories? Are they taken aback? Do they continue to imply that stigma around international students?
I guess the stigma about international students is that being an international student, we don't know how to speak English, first of all.
Mhm.
They have this thing in their head.
That's not true at all.
That's not true. And if you're speaking like good English, they
Mhm.
just question you, how are you speaking such a good English?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I had English courses during my high school.
Yeah,
So
they think you're from another world. Yeah,
yeah,
which is
and
really
like
odd.
it's not such a hard language. It's not Mandarin or anything. It's English. It's learnable. It's easy. So yeah, first is that thing that comes up when being an international student. Then, as an international student, it becomes harder for you to grab opportunities
Mhm.
because first of all, they try to give opportunities to students who are domestic,
Mhm.
and they want to take them forward. So it becomes hard for the international students to keep up with domestic students,
Mhm.
right? First, because your fees is so high, it's like
Yeah.
almost triple of them of the domestic fees.
Mhm.
You have to pay that fees, so you gotta earn somewhere.
Mhm.
Whether it's doing odd jobs, whether you are doing a corporate job, whether you're doing anything, you have to earn just so that you can survive.
Yeah.
So there are so many stigmas about international students, but like getting the opportunities, grabbing the opportunities is the one hardest thing I feel that international students face in any aspect, not just jobs, but in any aspect.
Yeah, and honestly, like the way you've approached it, just I guess being your classmate, we've had lots of classes together, same program, and just seeing you take on these leadership roles, multiple jobs, it's really inspirational because not a lot of people know the hard work that goes behind it,
Mhm.
and so like hearing you speak about the difficulties of having those opportunities or getting them,
Mhm.
um, is provides insight because you said yourself, like, these opportunities are readily available for domestic students or people who have been here in Canada for quite some time, and they don't have these challenges of paying fees, finding a place to live, rent, and all of that. So they have to, on top of their schoolwork, um, do all of that. So I guess that kind of leads me to my next question. For your first year at York,
Mhm.
what were the biggest challenges that you've had to overcome?
Commuting.
Yeah.
Because I live in Brampton, and
Mhm.
but like I'm very much right now like grateful where I live right now, because like my place is kind of on the border of Toronto and Brampton, so I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, it's still just like 1.5 hour
Yeah.
uh, commute. But I have seen some students who travel, who commute all the way to Scarborough or like Mississauga, right? They're
Mhm.
so far just to go to college, even if it's a 2 hour lecture, nothing more than that. They commute like 3 hours or like 2 hours one way.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So that's the hats off to those students. But
Yeah.
like, I'm still okay as compared to them. But yeah, commute was the biggest challenge because you mostly get exhausted just by commuting, and
Mhm.
you don't have the energy left just to take classes or lectures or any other activity that you want to do.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
But still, then it's it gets better when you start living you start getting into the routine of it. So that was one challenge that I just overcame by adapting to the environment, and also just giving hope to myself that
Yeah.
it shall pass. So you don't have to worry. So that's how I overcame that challenge, like just motivating myself, and finding ways how I can commute better and everything else. That's the thing. But what the other sorry, I forgot. What are the other challenges that overcame?
Yeah.
Um, and then I guess the other challenge was not getting job.
Mhm.
So when I first, so I guess in my first year was ended, and it was like 8 months that I was not able to get any job.
Mhm.
Um, and I had the not the mentality. I was okay doing odd jobs, but since my all family members are have always done the office jobs, like corporate
Yeah.
jobs, so they didn't want me to do any odd job. They're
Mhm.
like, if you're sitting here, if we're paying your fees, if we're helping you out, it's okay, but you won't do any odd job just because we know that you have the potential to achieve something bigger.
Mhm.
So for the 8 months, I applied, I don't know, endless jobs on campus, even off campus, in
Yeah.
and everywhere. But then finally, after 8 months, the summer term just started. This summer break started,
Yeah.
and I finally got the call from the student engagement department of labs,
Yes.
and they called me for the interview. I cleared the interview, fortunately, and then I got the job, the work study position as student communications assistant.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just that you have to, keep on trying,
Mhm.
even if you feel tired, but
Mhm.
you still have to go on just so that you can achieve what you have set for yourself.
Oh yeah, for sure. And hearing your story, like it's more difficult than ever now to find a job. And I know it was, as you're saying, it was really difficult. Even the jobs that are like unconventional for people to do, or they prefer to do other jobs, it's everything is really difficult now.
Yeah.
And for you to have persevered through that, that's very inspirational. And honestly, like, um, finding a job is really difficult. So, yeah, honestly, you were able to pioneer that way for yourself, and I think for international students as well. Yeah, and speaking of these job opportunities for you, how did you? And I'm trying to think of it from the mindset of a first year student. Like
Yeah.
everything is so new, even for non-international students, like for students in general, like everything is super new, especially if you're a newcomer and you're looking at things. Everyone has their own lens of viewing things. So how did you find these opportunities? Like, what what inspired you, or how did you go about searching for these opportunities? Like, did you go on like
Yeah.
Instagram? Like,
Yeah.
what was the trick?
So, as you said, being an international student and also new to the a totally new environment, and when you apply for these jobs, definitely they look at your resume, and you have all the experiences on on your CV, right? So it is already mentioned that you are an international student,
Mhm.
because they do check your background and stuff. So they kind of have this thing, they're freshers, they don't have experience and all
Mhm.
that, so that's why they don't hire international students that
Mhm.
fast, that quickly. But luckily I had some experience in my writing skills because I have published 2 books.
Yeah.
um and also, like, I have done some of the volunteerings and stuff, and I took so many parts in the, like, so many competitions during my schooling. So that was a good thing that I achieved a lot since childhood, because I have been a competitive student since childhood. So I have
Yeah.
taken so much part in so many competitions. So I had, like, pretty good experience in that. But as work experience, if we talk about the professional work experience, I did not have that.
Hmm.
Because in India, as in Canada, you can work. Like if you're 15, 16 years old, you can work in any restaurant or anything, right? In
Yes.
India, you can't do that because it's called as child labor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So till the time you don't turn 18, you can
Hmm.
work.
Yeah.
So in that sense, you definitely don't have any experience.
Hmm.
So that was the thing. But then I found my own way of writing, like writing skills and stuff, like publishing books and all that.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of did me a bit of like, brought
Yes.
me out of the box.
Hmm.
So that favored me a bit.
Yeah.
And then also because then when I came to Canada, my relatives were like, volunteering is the must that every student should do. Not just
Hmm.
student, but like also of all ages. People of all ages should keep volunteering and stuff, right? Because that gi- gives you experience, that brings a lot of learnings,
Hmm.
that helps you to build a connection, and also like a lot more than that,
Yeah.
right? So just do volunteering. Start with volunteering. If you are not getting a job, if you're not getting able to even into the interview process, just do volunteering.
Yeah.
It will help you to add the skills, and the it will make your resume even stronger.
Hmm.
So I did volunteering. I know I remember that I started my first volunteering opportunity with Social Work Student Association Club at York. So I started with them, and after that I kept on volunteering with many different clubs.
Yeah.
There was a point that like till second year, since first year to second year, I had like six clubs. I was
Yeah.
involved with six clubs,
Hmm.
and then another like six clubs are separate. Then there was like another student alumni ambassador program that
Hmm.
was separate. Then I was part of York International organization. I was
Hmm.
volunteering with them, that was separate. So like 7 to 8 volunteerings on campus, and then a couple of volunteerings off campus with a
Hmm.
couple of NGOs.
Yeah.
So I did so much volunteering, and apart from that, I was being a 24/7
Student.
student.
Yeah.
I was managing my assignments.
Yeah.
So that was a difficult phase, but I did manage everything somehow. So I just kept volunteering and added stuff on my resume, gained skills, like a lot of leadership skills, a lot of
Yeah.
teamwork skills, communication skills. I have learned a lot just through volunteering. Even if
Mhm.
that was not paid, I gained a lot.
Yeah.
So I guess volunteering was the one thing that helped me to get a
Mhm.
job on campus, and also now be stable and survive in Canada.
Yeah. No, that is very, very important. Volunteering, and I mean like even when my brother was older than me when we came, well, he's older than me when we came to Canada. So like seeing him navigate the volunteering world, not really knowing what volunteering was and everything, and how important that was for the environment here, the culture here, and how valuable it was adding to your skills. And I always wondered like everyone's experience in finding those volunteering opportunities is different. For you, how did you go about searching for them? Was it word of mouth? Were you
Hmm.
browsing through online stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I joined York, when I got the acceptance letter from York, since that day I started searching about York.
Hmm.
What's really going on in New York,
Yeah.
what's famous about it, what's um so I like started searching about it a lot first on Google, and then I started to Google its main Insta page account, like all the other social media handles and everything stuff. Then from there I literally went into the following list and followers list
Smart, smart.
of of York University
Yeah.
account.
You stalked
I
York.
I stalked York. I literally stalked York.
Yeah.
And I saw what are the pages that have the YorkU handle, like that are
Mm,
kind of official pages of like the other official pages of York University.
mm,
I started to follow them. And then from there, I started to follow like main YorkU labs. And then because they promote a lot of volunteering opportunities and also about the clubs, right? So I started to know about the clubs from YorkU labs Instagram page, and I started to follow those clubs Instagram pages. And whenever they posted something about hiring for the executive members or general members, I always started to then I just reached out to them on Instagram and then say that I'm interested and everything. First I would introduce myself, that who I am, and then
yes.
say that I'm interested in applying for the position.
Mhm.
So they would say, then yeah, email your CV. And then I, yeah, emailed and everything. I gave them the interviews, everything. And then yeah, this is how I found like different pages of different variety of clubs.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I reached out to them and I applied for all the volunteering opportunities.
Yeah, and it's now easier than ever finding things like you don't have to look at a poster anymore that's physical poster. You can look
Yeah.
at it, but posters are mostly digital now. Followers, you can find people from people's followers. Like it's easily things are easily accessible. You just have to have the willpower and the persistence to want to do it. And for you, like that blended in from you publishing books to your writing. And so for you, like you mentioned having a poetry book, and I kind of want to hear more about that. So what inspired you to pioneer the area of poetry writing at such a young age? And like as a English and professional writing student, what advice would you like to give to future writers and leaders in the writing industry, especially writers who are newcomers or people who enjoy communication, but they're coming to Canada where the style of communication might be different.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely the communication style is very, very much different from India, my home country. But like, okay, so how I started writing poetry is a like very sad story
It's
because like
okay.
it was,
Don't all writers have a sad sob story relating to how they start writing, like
yeah, so
trauma dumping?
I know it's just, yeah, it is literally
Yeah.
trauma dumping because it was during COVID.
Hmm.
And COVID was a time I was in 10th grade at that point. So it was the time that I wanted to drop out of my school.
Okay.
I did not want to pursue any further. Like I did not want to pursue my studies any further. I was like, I'm done. I can't study anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I just want to drop out of my school. I literally told this to my parents. I was in so bad shape that I couldn't keep up with my studies. I did not flunk, but
Yeah.
like
You went through a rough patch.
yeah, it was like just totally horrible patch
Hmm.
of that phase of that time. So I was like, okay, but and I told my parents were like, what are you saying? Are you okay? Are you out of your
Yeah.
mind? Because so I was going into depression a lot at that point.
Hmm.
Then I don't know, one night I just wanted to just get my messed up head on paper.
Yeah.
I literally wrote things, whatever felt sense, whatever made sense, I don't know. I just wrote on paper and I was like, I just wanted to dump my feelings on it so that from here I don't feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Either in my head or heart, I don't want to feel overwhelmed. I just want to get it out,
Hmm.
right? So I wrote things, and then it kind of turned into a sense rhythmic form, and it kind of took a form of poetry. Then I just, since that day, I started to write a lot, like a lot of poems I started to write. Then my mom, she reached out to one of her friends because
Hmm.
she also kind of writes poems.
Yeah.
So she asked her that what are some best, platforms that I can get my daughter attached to, so that she can just keep pursuing writing
Hmm.
and enhance her writing skills. So her my mom's friend said that there's one Facebook, like the online digital literary platform,
Hmm.
so where like all the poets from like across, I guess, 100 plus countries are attached to, and that group has like 30,000 plus members. So she can get attached to that group. That's the platform where like all the writers and poets just, write their poems and just post it there so that others can read and get motivated.
Hmm.
So got attached to it. I started writing poems, posting there, and I got a lot of appreciation from so many poets across the world whom I didn't even know.
Yeah.
It's just like total bunch of strangers, and I'm posting these poems and they're reading. So, and they're giving appreciation. I felt like my inner voice is getting heard by someone.
Yeah. Yeah. Your voice is out there with your
Yeah.
writing. Yeah.
So I started writing, and then they also conducted a bunch of, write poetry competitions.
Hmm.
So I've won a few.
Nice.
So that's how I
That's
started
amazing.
to
Yeah.
build a connection with other poets and
Hmm.
writers. And then I then there was one in 2022, there was one like in person event
Hmm.
where they wanted to award some of the poets.
Yeah.
So I was also one of them. I was awarded with the souvenir medal,
Nice.
with the so it was given by Gujarat Sahitya Academy's president, and
Hmm.
also he is the Padma Shri awardee. So
Okay.
Padma Shri awardee is a huge thing in India.
Okay.
So because there are like top medals and top awards in
Hmm.
India. For example, Bharat Ratna award is given to the, who has done a lot of uh, good things
Okay.
in India for the
Hmm.
public and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, Padma Shri award is
Okay.
kind of a like huge medal which is given by the president or prime minister of India
Wow. Yeah. That's
to
awesome.
the person. So yeah, so he handed me that souvenir medal. So
Hmm.
it was a good thing for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the journey that I started writing poetry and how I got into writing sector.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, like, the way that you're it just speaks to how powerful you've used your tools, you've used the hardships that you faced to build something for yourself, and it's led you to not only publishing poetry books, but also finding a job in Canada, using your communication skills, your writing skills, um, finding a way to shape that in your favor. It's very inspirational. It's kind of like the way how things were led to be. You weren't really motivated at school because of a lot of rough things that were happening in the world because of the pandemic. And then you found a way to get to earning one of the most prestigious awards in India. And to be honest, the world, like, I mean, you were able to get something out of a hardship, and that's really what it means to pioneer through different things, such as a newcomer and someone who
Hmm.
is an international student. So that's really amazing to hear. I mean, we could all use that motivation or that understanding of we have the skills needed to get to where we want to be. We just have to know how to use it,
Hmm.
when to use it, and also the willpower. I mean, side note, like I would always see you in class, like you were always really focused, but it felt like you always wanted more, and it was really inspiring for me, even being in the same class, like just I really hope that people understand or are able to see that international students aren't just, people who are there to, get people's jobs or to like all these people say it's more about working together and you guys are hard workers
Hmm.
um and you just want to make something for yourself.
Yeah.
It's kind of, why you're here.
Yeah.
It's basically why you're here. And that's just like for immigrants and newcomers. So that's amazing to hear.
Yeah,
And it's really special.
I would just say, like, never give up, even if you feel like giving up because you're exhausted. Understandable, you're exhausted.
Yeah,
You just want to break, and you don't feel like going forward because nothing's working out. But
yeah,
trust me, for 2 years, I have been literally questioning myself every single day. I had been, basically, not I have been. I had been questioning myself every single day for the past 2 years. Was coming to Canada a good decision or not? But
that's a
then,
question. Literally, like it's kind of like that looming question that you ask yourself, but it's a good question to ask. Like, it keeps your goals in check and it keeps you motivated for sure. I can.
yeah, I literally asked this question to myself for the past 2 years. And then now in 2025, things are falling into their place. I got awards, I got the recognition, I got the opportunities. Um, so I'm like, yeah, now everything's working out. My
Yeah,
all hard work was not in
paid off.
vain. It did pay off. And your hard so yeah, that's the thing, my that my parents always say, that your hard work will never go into vain.
Yes.
Even if you don't want to do that stuff in future, but whatever you learn from that, doing that stuff, that you are gaining experience,
Mhm.
you gain something new. So that hard work is not going into vain.
Yeah, definitely.
So just never give up. Just have this faith in yourself that everything will fall into place
Mhm.
in when it's the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, like hearing your story, I feel like there's always more. So what's next? Like what do you hope the rest of your university career to look like and also your future career? What's next for you?
So for now, I'm a bit dicey. I don't
Okay.
know. For the rest 2 years, right now I just wanna. My goal for now is to get into Dean Scholar list first of
Yes.
all,
Yeah.
because in my first year I just like left behind the 8.0 GPA, just by
Oh,
this
it's
percentage.
okay.
I got like 7.92 GPA in my first year, and I was like, just this much. I
Happens.
but
Yeah.
like then I literally worked hard in my second year, and now I'm like 8 plus GPA, so that's a good thing.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So I just want to make it into the Dean Scholar list first of all. That's one of my goal
Yes.
right now, and then I want to graduate with.
I think you're good. Don't even worry about graduating, girl. I think you're
I want to
fine.
graduate, but like with summa cum laude at least, or magna cum laude.
Yeah.
So I want that thing on my degree.
Hmm.
So these are the
You'll get
first two
there, hopefully.
goals right
Yeah.
now for me
Mhm.
as a student. But in career wise, I'm a bit dicey because in India, people have the mentality that it's just English, right?
Yeah. Oh, I get that.
Or
Yeah.
it's just arts. What's the future of arts? It's
Hmm.
nothing. But after coming to Canada, my horizons have been widened a lot,
Oh, yeah.
because like after taking so many different courses in our program, I felt like there's a lot to it.
Mm.
There are so many sectors just in publishing, just in writing,
Oh,
just
yeah.
in
There's
English.
always a job somewhere.
Yeah, and like if you want to do publishing, if you're interested in that, if you're passionate about that, you can go into the publishing sector. And there are different genres of publishing, so you can choose which genre you want to go into, right? And then if you want to do copy editing, there's writing, there's poetry writing, or and different other genres of writing, so in which you want to get into.
Yeah.
So it's just not English. it's different aspects of English and writing sector that you can get into.
Yeah.
So after taking all these courses, now I'm kind of interested in everything and I want to do everything. But like, still
Yeah.
there should be a specific thing that I should enter, and I'm very much passionate about it. And right now I can't figure out that thing. So I'm like, I'm a bit dicey.
No, honestly, it's hard to understand, like fully figure out, especially being in such a diverse program. Like, you know, no shade to my STEM people, but like we know, like once you go into STEM, it's either research or medicine
Yeah.
or engineering. But okay, you know what? I don't want to get shaded for this, so I will retract my words. Um, yeah, okay, anyway.
Yeah.
So for creatives and for for English professional writing, there's so much to do.
Hmm.
And people are in need of people who have those skills of communicating.
Yeah.
And you certainly have them. So, whichever career you land into, um, you'll be able to, with your persistence and everything, you'll be able to um, find your way into a great place. I'm sure of that. Yeah, and the dicing thing, me too. I don't. It's hard. It's always like back and forth between certain things, but it just speaks of, the diverse skills that we have, and that
Yeah.
you have. So yeah, honestly, yeah, right.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Um, but honestly, thank you so much, Dipanpreet.
Thank
This was
you.
a very valuable conversation. Um, because just hearing it, I think people really need insight into international students' lives. Your insight was really important for newcomers. It's all about the network. It's all about wanting to do something, and you had that willpower that I know a lot of newcomers have, because every day they're constantly questioning, why am I here, and always re-evaluating their goals, and that's really important. And the fact that you even mentioned that, I feel like a lot of newcomers can relate, because it's the struggles that test your passion every day. And persevering through that is definitely
Hmm.
a key to success,
Hmm.
not only within education, but within volunteering and all the opportunities that you've had.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, thank you so much for the valuable insight.
Thank
Um,
you.
Thanks for being here, and we hope to to have you listeners listen to the rest of our episodes. And thank you, and
Thank you for having me.
thank you.